You want to? You guys see these?
Yes.
What's your major? Drawing. Oh, that's nice. She's drawing. Do you have an earnest statement or want to kind of like talk about an earnest statement at all?
From the last time? I guess I just want to talk about the institution.
Okay, talk about whatever you want.
I don't know, I basically was doing some sketches and I kind of started using hair with the medium that I was using. You know, I wanted to like draw it and see where it would take me. So this is basically the first idea and everything else followed after that.
Hair. And is this before or after? Or?
No, that was during. I did these about the same time. The kid with the mustache and this hospital. Who are the people?
Who are the people?
What?
What are the people portrayed?
Who are the people?
Who are the people for the
What people?
by the people?
In the
People.
portrait.
In the portraits, like, who did you draw?
It's her kid, her man, her.
What?
Who are those? Her family.
Obviously, he doesn't want to tell you who they are.
Doesn't want to respond.
The question is, what is your the purpose of using hair? What is the underlying purpose of having that in your work? This is something I don't understand.
I don't know. It's basically something that I guess portrays like maybe some type of fixation or I don't know. It's a haircut, some type. No, some type of change.
But what does it represent to you? Why is
Time.
it
Time.
because it's
It represents time. Like you know, like from when you had it when you were like a child to where you're grown and then like okay it starts changing color like or you lose it. You know, it's just time. And kind of like a growth a little bit. So
And is that painting connected with those ideas?
yes, it is.
kind of puzzled by it. I don't even know what it is.
Tough month.
Other comments?
Monica, you said something about time?
No, she was asking what the hair represented.
Is it time?
The greatest contribution.
What do you think is going on? What's your
I've seen, I have her for my drawing class, and I've seen some of her drawings. She's working in a way where she's kind of, I guess now in her work she's shifting into more of like I guess the darker ones.
Lost it.
They're probably more interesting because I guess the top one is more abstract, even though she's using like actual imagery, and they're becoming kind of ghostly, and I think that she's using the charcoal as a medium. It's going to help her kind of emit the whole idea of hair in her work. And that's probably the stronger one.
I think those two are definitely the strongest ones too, but I think maybe for the reason why just the process, which I'm guessing is you took some Xeroxes of your face and then rendered it with charcoal, and I've never seen that done. I mean, you've seen a million people Xerox their face and things like that before, but I've never seen anybody take it a step further and render it with charcoal by hand. I think that has some cool, interesting results.
Well, more than that, it just, like the two to the right, even though they're well drawn, I mean left, even though they're well drawn, it just kind of feels that, that conceptually, like, it just seemed like, oh, these pictures are nice, I'm gonna draw them. You know, and I can't really move beyond that.
Well, in the pictures that I see, I only want to paint the ones that are kind of like, and I don't know why I choose the pictures like that, but I usually try to capture the, I don't know, kind of like pervert of it, or the like mischievous type. Like this was basically a person feeding my child a popsicle, and I don't know this person, and she's a very like loose type of person, I guess.
Obviously.
Female, and she was feeding my child this popsicle, so I don't know why I decided to capture that image. And the popsicle is very juicy and it's very wet. It's more than what it is there.
So it disturbed you, and
Yes.
it pushed your tolerance for things, and you started to think about other possibilities. I mean, you knew somewhat who this person was, and so the child doesn't look very happy. The thing looks perverse. It's a very uncomfortable image in general.
And this is not the first time that I've taken pictures like this.
Okay,
but
so it's from a photograph.
It's kind of like a question that I have within myself. Why are these photographs popping out?
I think that sometimes we equate the edge with power. Sometimes we think of that if it's sort of the edgy, it's like better or more powerful or more truthful or more something. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's just creepy.
I'm just trying to look at truth.
Yeah, but I think there's a trap in it, like traps in all things. It would be the equal trap to like a little innocent portrait of your child, you know, like with flowers and a little dress or whatever. You know what I mean? That would be the other extreme of that's what art is, or this is what art is. I think that what's interesting about it is how it portrays your discomfort, and it questions your tolerance. Where are you going to draw the line? Like, what are you going to, there's this social, somebody comes up to your kid and you don't want to make a scene about it, but you really would rather they didn't give this popsicle to your kid, and then somehow or other, and the kid probably has mixed emotions about taking it, but it becomes about something bigger. It becomes about testing your tolerances. It becomes about, it's not really about an edge. It's about, like where you find yourself within this situation. And you painted it, and we know where you found yourself, on the dark side of it. And I don't think we found ourselves on the dark side of it because it's superficially like to make it heavier, but because you really were not good with it. But it happened. And nothing happened. But it's like, again, this edge thing. I think that's the most interesting thing about, the story about you say the works about one thing, so your hair. So we get hair. And yet, for the most part, when you describe hair, you're not really engaged with the hair in, here it's fake hair. It's like not hair at all. Here it's more charcoal and pencil than it is hair. It's more like a formula for hair, light and dark, than it is, and I'm trying to draw hair. Here, I think it's closer to really investigating the hair. But it's more than that, it feels like it's investigating the range of the black, of the range of dark.
Yeah, I don't think that this is going to be giving me some more of hair than it is about the actual charcoal that I'm trying to do, because the one on the top was the last one I did, and I think this area, and I really like it portraying the so that's what I need to investigate.
Are you trying to make this
I would do some straight self-portraits. I would look in the mirror and do a couple of hard-on, straight self-portraits. Because I think there's some interesting things about your, like, I know you from 4 years ago or more, but I know you now, it's been a long time now. But I think that there's something, you're struggling with the content here, but I think there's something else. There's something, other things that you need to get to, and you're just kind of fumbling around. No offense. So I think that there's some, and actually I think it's a lot about there. So I would like just do a few self-portraits straight on, mirror, as hard as that may be, forget about hair or not hair, just look in the mirror and draw yourself. Whatever happens, happens. But then try and evaluate them in terms of some kind of dealing. I think this whole issue of the edge, of what constitutes the dark side and the light side of things, and where you sit with it, seems to me like, I don't like that painting at all, but I love the story about it, you know? So, I think there's some valuable stuff there. Okay?